Hello everybody and welcome back to the labs. I am Towsty and we are in our single player world playing on the Karma mod pack on the ATLauncher. This is episode 7. A lot has happened since we saw each other last. Let's get right into it. So, as you can see in my hotbar here, the first thing I need to deal with is my deaths. So we're here at our wall of death to see all of the times that I have dropped a head after I've died. And I have to add 4 more to it. I will move this wall of death to the outside of our other base, or maybe just put it in our shed or something later. But, yeah, I had 1 to put up here when I had planned on starting to record this episode. In the process of recording this episode, I have died 3 times. Just in this process of setting up to record this episode, I have died so many times. And oh my word, it's frustrating. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these death points. And go for a sleep before I show you what's going on here. So, I need to rebuild myself a shovel because apparently that's something I have lost. But I have finished my AE system as I would like it before we make it hardcore and massive. I have 10 4K storage drives now, and I have moved, all of my important stuff into this. So I've still got some junk in this chest, but I don't plan on moving that over because I don't really need it. Although I will move the clay over. And if these could be used for something other than... Ooh, that's not something I'm familiar with. Yeah, so we'll take this as well. And the bones and the string. Leave legato over here. And just double check that I've got everything that I want. Yes. Oh, no. Bones, quartz, leather, wool, arrows, iron bars, iridium. Oh, okay. Anyway, so we've made our AE system cool enough to handle all of our stuff, which makes my life a lot easier. It makes me very happy. But in order to do that, I've had to make a few changes around the base. So let me see if I have any sticks. I do. So let's go chaos. Let's grab me a shovel. And my pick is about to break, so I will grab another one of those as well. But I will also need a helmet and a pick. Bam. Okay, so we'll store our pick in here and we'll put our helmet on and we're good to go. So I've been working on our farm, and this is what I was trying to do off camera just because the actual setup for this is pretty boring. But what I did was I have been grinding my way through magical crops, and have I spoken as to how much I love the magical crops mod? No? Maybe? Well, either way, Magical Crops is fantastic. I'm so glad it's finally been updated. What we've got here is a bunch of crops, and I left this running overnight. And boom, look at this. We got some essence, we got some lapis, we got some obsidian, and some ender dust. So this is really what I needed to talk to you guys about because I did this over a course of about an hour or so after we recorded last time. Basically what I did is I had 2 ender pearls, and I desperately needed more so that I could make some item conduits and so that I could make this farm. This farm requires 2 pulsating ingots because you have to make 16 pulsating nuggets. And so that can be kind of annoying. But it did require some ender pearls. I didn't want to use my 2 only ender pearls if I knew that if I had 4, if I could just find 2 more, I could make a little farm of them. So I ground my way through the tiers of magical crops. And if we look at what we need for the ender seeds here, I think I just needed some strong essence, which I was already at, but I needed more essence. So I had to go digging for that. I had to go digging to get more quartz for our storage drives, which was the other thing that I did. I killed lots more disco zombies, and so getting lots of note blocks. I've drained some levels again, so I got 66 or so levels in there. I managed to make some more pure quartz overnight. And that's where we're at. So I've also got some essence in here, as you can see. So I've got lots of lapis and obsidian now for what I want to do. But here's the thing. So in order to get the ender pearls, I figured I could go just hunt for endermen at night. But the nights here are just so dangerous that I didn't want to do that. So instead what I did is I explored and I found myself some ender lily seeds. Sorry about that, and we're back. So yeah, I found some ender lily seeds, which were in, I couldn't believe I hadn't seen this earlier. I found them just over here actually. Oh yeah, I have also mined out all of the end stone from this house that was here from the first couple episodes, because I just needed it, and yeah, vein miner. Sweet! So now that I have more end stone, I can expand the ender lily farm to get more ender pearls. But if we come over, not over here, sorry. Gotta go to this part of the shore. Hello, Yale. Hello. Alright. Almost there. Come on. Come on. You can see it on my mini-map. There's quite the structure over here. So I have to say, I have seen lots of the World Gem boats before, but this one was epic. So there's like a half boat that got cut off, and I haven't really bothered being in that. But this boat was just the trifecta. So you can see my little staircase I went up there of cobblestone. This thing was awesome. It was just, the whole cargo bay is just full of chests, and I kind of want to repurpose it to do something else for us. And I'm thinking about that a bit still. But yeah, this thing was just fantastic. I found the ender lily seeds plus 2 ender pearls and a whole bunch of cool swag, like some of the armor you might have seen in my chest over there. And it was just so useful. So I'm glad I went and checked that out. Hello, pumpkins. Because now I was able to start growing ender pearls. And not just from the ender seeds, in fact, or the ender lilies. I was able to make some ender seeds from magical crops and get them going as well, which meant I could move forward a little bit quicker than I had expected. So that was awesome. So as we get back to base here, you can see that I left the farm running overnight, and I was able to grow a few of these guys. So I just replanted them and actually got the 4th seed from it. I only had 3. I've been growing some sugarcane for some paper needs that I think I'm going to have for the item upgrades. But this is just going to start pumping away lots and lots of essence and stuff. And every once in a while, I take some of these extra seeds that make it in this chest, and I throw them back, or I make sure there's still some in there, because there's no way to say, like, don't consume all of these. And there's no way to set these filters to stay that I know of. So if you do know of one, let me know, because that would be really, really handy for me. I have to use this kind of farm, though, because at the moment, Mine Factory Reloaded doesn't work with this version of Magical Crops. And I'm really hoping that they add an update to that. So, where's the sun? Okay, we still got bedtime. So, in order to move forward, oh yeah, I also made a charge stone just in case I run out of charge quartz or something like that. Really, I need a couple things. And I made a checklist to get going here, and so we can start working on some stuff together. I need auto mining, and these are in no particular order. I need a better power gen system, because this works for now, but won't do a whole lot more. I need to build my base over here and actually move my stuff. I need a good Cobble Gen. In fact, I'd like this to be a smooth stone thing, so I might use thermal expansion to get that going, so we'll get that up and running, so that I can make lots of stone brick for that. And I want to make the first floor at the very least, to get that in. I want some AE2 auto crafting, but that won't be until I move over to that base there. And I need to get some flight going, and I'm still not 100% sure how I want to do that. I'm still carrying around this this flight stone with me wherever it... Oh, I lost it. What? No, that's not the end of the world, but okay. So apparently I lost my flight stone in the suite of deaths that I had before I moved into this base. And here we've got some extra swag and things from the adventuring I've been doing. We got some cool stuff here as well. And I've got loads of presses. I'm telling you, Chaotic Craft adding presses to dungeon chests is awesome. So, and I have this little guy here because I used it to charge another capacitor originally. And all I've done is I've taken the output from the windmills and I've branched it out over here and put it into this capacitor, and it runs down, and then taken some item ducts, and it's just, you know, unbiasedly pulling anything it can out of here. It'll always only pull from the right side of the farms, like the actual output side. It won't pull these out, which is good, which is, I'm not sure has always been the case. I feel like that was an update, because I remember having an issue with that earlier, but I may be wrong about that. So, love that. We are going to get going on one of these things. I think what I'm really going to need is to make a barrel and to get going on my Cobble Gen. I wanted to get that up and running. So I'm going to make me an aqueous accumulator. For that, I'm going to need some copper gears, some machine frames, a bucket, a servo. I should have most of this stuff. I'm going to make a few of these. So one thing you may not know about the new thermal expansion is that there are no conduits, there are no piping systems, there are no... Really? Where's my iron? Sorry. There are no conduits of any sort as there were in the previous iteration. And they are coming, from what I understand, they will be coming. But I am out of glass. Do I have sand? I still have an impulse to look around at all my chests, but forgetting that I cleaned all that up. But yeah, so the conduit system for thermal expansion is coming, but the new thermal expansion system is broken down into quite a few different things. Sorry about that. Excuse me. So the new thermal expansion is broken down into quite a few mods. It's broken down into, if we scroll down here, thermal expansion, thermal foundation, and we've also got the redstone arsenal, which doesn't seem to be in this version. That's alright though. And Simply Jetpacks is not from the same team, but is an add-on to it that seems to be pretty much guaranteed when you're playing with it now, which I think is great. So it also includes the Mine Factory Reloaded guys. They seem to be, I think they're from the same team. Don't quote me on that, but they have separated things out, and so the conduits will be in their own sort of mod when they're finished. But they were really kind of buggy before. I thought they worked really, really well, but they had a lot of issues running on servers and crossing chunk boundaries and moving in and out of loaded chunks and things like that. So there were issues with them. They were great, so I think they're just trying to iron some of that out. And I hope that they do, because those were really, really handy conduits, in my opinion. Oh, I never told you guys. So I really, really needed ink to make this clipboard, and I couldn't find any squid, so I just made myself some dye crops and started to grind away with the watering can, and yeah, made myself some ink from that, which I will show you later. But I'm really glad that these Ender IO farms have been working for me. All right, so I've got my aqueous accumulator. Now I need an igneous extruder, and this will make the Cobble Gen for me be a thing. There's other ways of doing this. Let's just see if I have everything else except for that piston. Sweet. That's why I made 2 sets of gears and 2 servos and 2 machine frames, because I knew that they were fairly similar recipes, or at least they used to be. So now I want to make myself a barrel from Java. There it is. See if I have any. Aha, sweet. So structure, one of those, and an upgrade. I just want to upgrade this once. Nothing. Okay, so I should have enough stuff to make another barrel, and then to make 2 pistons. That should be relatively easy. 1, 2. Oops. That's not what I want. I wanted to do. Where's my upgrade? There it is. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some lava. I need to get a bucket of lava, and I need to find a place to throw this. I will probably actually put it over here for now, just because this is where it's going to be used. So we'll put this here, and we have ourselves an infinite water source. Now put the aqueous accumulator down. It's good. Put the igneous extruder on top of it. Change it to smooth stone, and we're going to run over here and get a bucket of lava. As you can see, I did set up another portal. And while I don't remember dying in the nether at all, no, I came very close a couple of times, but I didn't die in the nether, and I'm really, really, really lucky. This, I don't know if it's Lycanites or something else that changes it, but the pigmen seem naturally aggressive, which is kind of difficult sometimes because they hit hard. Alright, so now we've got that pumping out. I'm going to put this on that side. Yep. Lock it. Upgrade it. Upgrade it. Now we can have 128 stacks of stone get put in there. Awesome. Alright, so that is good. And I've got a couple spare buckets and a bucket of lava. Awesome. Dump all of this stuff in here. I got one of the ways I died is this like flying dragon thing came and launched fire at me that lit my little house here on fire. I love that I still have dirt. So I had to replace it with a bit of skystone, but what are you gonna do? So while that's cooking up, we're gonna get enough stone there to really begin to do some work on our base. I'm thinking what I'm gonna need to do to really finish it the way I want is I want to use some colored glass, but I'm not sure what the best way to do that'll be to make. We'll see what kind of dye I can make. Let's make some. I love the cyan glass, but I don't want it to be like. I'm hoping I can do this. That wasn't what I meant to do. Cyan dye. Bam. That's why I love the dye crops. I'm hoping I can put the chisel in. The thing is, I think if I put this down, yeah. So, in order for me to do this the way I want, I will have to make a smeltery so I can make clear glass. Actually, you know what? I could do it with Ender IO. So now I'm going to need to make another Cobble Gen. What's the best way to do this? I guess I could just do another thermal expansion one. Yeah. Basically what I want to do is I want to have sand pushed into the alloy smelter. Let's get an export bus. Alright, I just need the piston. Yeah. And an export bus. And let's do this. Plop. And we're going to set this guy to just whatever. Doom, boo doom. Go. So when it's set to alloys only, if we take some of our sand and we throw it in here, let's see what we come up with. Quite clear glass. Awesome. Now what happens? Let's stop that for a moment. See if this has any uses. Make quartz. Wanted to see if I could dye it somehow. I can just turn it back into regular glass. That's not really helpful. Glowstone. Wow. Exactly what I expected. I'm gonna try one more thing. Because I really don't want to set up a smeltery right now. It's not. I love Tinker's Contract, but I'm so tired of doing it at the moment. What if I do this? Yes, 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 we're getting there. Mechanism, microblock, shaped. Let's do some shape. Let's explore. Blah. Not exactly what I had in mind. I could do it like this. I need clay. What's the best way for me to get clay? Dirt and water. Yeah. All right. Well, let's look at that. Let's go grab me some. Boom. Boom. Grab my essence out of here, and I'm just gonna try and make a point of getting all of these. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to set up, because it really doesn't. I can't believe I'm about to. I'm gonna set this to furnace only and just to export sand. And I'm gonna grab as much sand as I can in a second. Wait, what time of day? Time to sleep. Not yet. Okay, I realize I'm jumping around and not really explaining anything, and I didn't replant my dye seeds. Oh, silly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a small infrastructure here to generate clay and what do you call it? Clay and dye. Yeah. So that I can make some cyan stained glass. Although I do want to see what it looks like first. So let's take our... do I have any more? Yes, I do. Our cyan and some clay. Now that looks interesting, doesn't it? How does that look? Is there a light blue? These kind of have a strange texture as you spin around it. And they just break. So not exactly what I had in mind. I'm glad I checked that first. So I will have to set up a... Alright, you can stop that. And you can go back into alloy mode. I will have to set up a smeltery eventually here, but I won't put you guys through that on camera. Let's see what else I can do to get this glass. Ugh, I'm having allergy issues. Huh. Alright, so let's work on something else while I think about the glass situation. So, auto mining would kind of like to wait for until I can get into that base, because then I can set up auto mining and auto processing beyond this. Although I didn't tell you, basically anything you put in this chest, right, gets pulled into the sag mill and gets crushed up, which worked really well for us at first. It still does. I've upgraded all the machines with these double layer capacitors to speed them up because they're so slow at first. So it outputs its produce, I guess, into the alloy smelter, which is set to furnace only, and just cooks it all up and puts it in here. And then underneath I have an import bus, as you can see in my Wayla there. It just pulls it all into the system. So nothing stays in these chests. They're just for the sake of sorting. And I actually... Derp. Let's just do it like this. Let's go down one. Grab my import bus and just throw it on there. And now I don't even need that other chest. Aren't I a genius? Genius, I say! Genius. Alright. So that's what's happening right now. And it also pulls in from the alloy smelter from the bottom as well. And I have an extra export bus that I could use for the time being on something. I'm not really sure. Let me see where we are on our checklist here. What do we want to work on? Why don't we look at what I want to use for our power gen? I may just add a few more windmills to sort of keep us at bay. But if we look up our generators, we have loads of stuff to work with. Now, my understanding is they've heavily nerfed hydrogen generators and mechanism, and that's, you know, I'm okay with that. They were really, really, really overpowered. And we got all sorts of stuff to play with. Can look at the dynamos, dynamo. All right. Lots of stuff to work with here, but they require a good chunk of infrastructure. So I'm wondering, what can we make with magical crops? Hello, you're still here. What can we make with magical crops to use as power gen? So what do we got? We can make magma, skeleton. I know we can make lava. I don't really know how efficient that would be. Some of this stuff we won't have because like we don't have Thaumcraft in here. And so, which I'm fine with, you know, I don't use it that much, but like it has Thaumcraft seeds, and we don't have. Ooh, I wonder if I can make oil. No, it does not appear that there's a recipe for it. How would you make oil seeds, I wonder? Do I even have oil in this pack? Yeah, I do. Buildcraft adds oil. Let's go back to magical crops real quick. I'll probably test this out in a single player world, like a creative world, to see if there's some using the recipes for like water. I'll try and see if I can make an oil one, and if I can, then I'll definitely use that, cause it has no uses. So maybe not. Maybe they're still working on that one. Keep moving. Essence of the cow. Dark. I know what I wanted to do. Okay, this is going to take a lot for me to do, but I'm going to write it down on a second page. And so this is going to be our power gen to-do list. This is going to be really challenging for me, but what I'm going to need is to get an MFR auto brewer. And I'm going to need to go kill some ghasts for ghast seeds. That's an H. Let's do gas hunt for ghast seeds. We're gonna need to get some glowstone seeds. Glowstein stone seeds. We're gonna need to get some netherwort farms up and running. And I'm going to need to get I think that should be everything, because what I think I want to make is a potion generator and live off of potions. So for that I need a enchantment table. Yeah, not a problem. But what I can do is I could say like well, let's make the table just so I can see what sort of potions are worth what. I think it'll work like this. So let's do potion generator. Boom, boom. Oh, that might be an issue. Issue. Potion, so paper. Now, book. Thank you. Now, table. Yeah, Jeeves. Now, whole thing? Yeah. Okay. So if I put this down and I look inside of it, these will tell me how much they generate. So even an awkward potion will be 16,000 RF at 20 RF per tick. So that's not bad. Let's see what else we can get out of this. 32,000 at 40 RF per tick for a potion of regeneration, a basic potion of regeneration, which is just awkward with a gas tier. See if there's anything higher than 32,000 at 64,000 at 80 RF. Where does that start? Right here, huh? 3264. Invisibility is a fermented spot. No. So it looks like most tier 2 potions are 64,000. Right? 128,000 RF for slowness, which is swiftness, which is swiftness 2, sorry, which is glowstone on swiftness, which is sugar, which we have a little farm going for, which is awkward. I might go that route. So let's do 128,000. So we have got lots to do. So let's do, for the moment, I think potion of slowness generation. So all we got checked off was our Cobble Gen. I'm going to immediately then start working on a cheap form of flight. And it may be a jetpack of some sort. It may be something like that. And as soon as I do that, then I'll be able to take care of my things in the nether. I also will probably need a magnet. So how much time do we have? Oh, we're a little bit over time. So for now, guys, I've been Towsty. I'll bring you right back as soon as I'm done here getting a magnet set up and running, and then we'll work on flight and we'll go explore the nether. All right, take it easy, guys. Have a good day. Deuces.